pool out front. Beautiful estates like this go for tens of millions. I'm much more partial to the more classic architectural styles running through Algeria. They're blending.
Let me know which side y'all like. Y'all like the classical side or y'all like the modern side?
Dirty stick, I hit a lick out of Uber. Side I screw below that boy be a shooter. Say the wrong thing on my niggas to do. You go crazy, but catch all my niggas a shoot.
Boom! It's your boy Bo Messi, baby. And if you ain't rocking with Benny on the daily, you
Boom! Take your friendly Penny Blocks, Bo Messi, baby, and back with another reaction video. What is it like to be a billionaire in Algeria? Oh my god. A billionaire? I just did 10 most impressive mega projects getting built in Algeria or like being funded. So I wanted to see what it's like to be a millionaire. Not even millionaire, a billionaire. $1 billion in God. Viewer discretion is advised. On the content below your eyes. If you do the eyes, if you do the spies. Let's go.
Algeria might not be
$1 billion.
the richest countries in Africa, but it does have its own group of eccentric billionaires who love flashy suits, sports teams, and apparently corruption charges. As always, we've got to start with the richest man in Algeria. That honor goes to the one and only Issad Rebrab. As the CEO of the largest private company in the country, he has amassed an impressive fortune of $5.1 billion. By the way, in Naira, $5.1 billion is around 2.1 trillion. So technically, he's Algeria's richest trillionaire. That success came because he...
What? Let me hear that again.
By the way, in Naira, $5.1 billion is around 2.1 trillion. So technically, he's Algeria's richest trillionaire. That success came because he is a stone-cold businessman. His company has a lot of irons in the fire, including foodstuffs, electronics, steel, and agribusiness. The company earns hundreds of millions of dollars every year, which you can see in their CEO's signature style. The man is basically Algeria's Barney Stinson. He is literally never pictured without wearing a name brand suit, likely worth over $1,000. Each one is perfectly tailored because how could it not be? It seems likely that this man probably sleeps in a suit. Apparently his rides are few, but they make quite a statement. That includes a BMW X Series. This beauty has 700 horsepower, a top speed of 173 miles per hour, and a 0 to 60 time of 4.7 seconds. This highway-ready beauty apparently set the CEO back over 200 grand. As far as his everyday rides go, he's got a thing for Bentleys that also go for around 200 grand.
Everyday car.
Evidently, in the Algerian business world, a Bentley is for work and a BMW is for play. Write that down. Lee Haddad is a wealthy businessman who is not as fond of the spotlight. His suits aren't super flashy. His cars are professional rides, not impressive ones. Still, when you've made over $4.2 billion, eventually you end up indulging in a few passions. As anyone who follows billionaires in Europe and Asia and pretty much anywhere else that isn't America, the ultimate status symbol isn't actually a mansion or a yacht. No, in most countries around the world, the biggest flex you could possibly have is owning your own football club. For him, the famous team was USM Alger that he absolutely had to have.
USM Alger. Do y'all really, they really own the whole team? What?
The team currently sits in the Algerian Premier League. While it isn't worth around $5.1 billion, like Real Madrid or something, it's clearly worth a fortune. As far as other passions go, he also likes to buy television stations. So far, he only owns 2 television stations, but if the TV show Succession has taught me anything, it's that he'll eventually have a massive media empire his children will fight over and it will be incredibly entertaining. That's the media mogul dream, isn't it? Lolly Murray is the man behind Pepsi in Algeria. This has made him quite the fortune because apparently Pepsi is super popular in Algeria. At one point in time, he was reported to be worth...
Do y'all like Pepsi? Y'all like Pepsi?
over $1.2
That's funny.
billion. His passions are a little bit more highbrow than most billionaires we cover. He's been described as an artist in the shoes of a businessman. He apparently paints in his free time. He relaxes by hitting the canvas or learning new ways to paint. Not that he showed off what he's painting or anything. The man's not exactly setting up private art shows for himself. Not yet, anyway. As far as collecting goes, he's a big fan of artist Alphonse Etienne Denet. His nicest paintings go for around $1.5 million. From the sound
One
of it,
painting?
he's at least got a couple of these. He's also said to have a fine private estate in Yvelines, France. While we don't know exactly which house Africa's Pepsi King lives in, houses in this area can go for millions. Chances are he's got the only house in the neighborhood where the paintings on the walls are worth more than the house itself. We've seen a lot of businessmen getting a lot of corruption charges, but he's not that kind of person at all. He's actually known for exactly the opposite. He's become semi-famous for his, let's call it, business charity. He's actually saved several businesses from crashing and ended up becoming the second biggest employer in Brittany, France. For this kind of thing, he was awarded the Legion of Honor in France. Not only that, but he's a huge environmentalist who attacks the issue with his sizable bank account. He frequently shorts stocks and encourages others to move businesses away from fossil fuels. He considers it to be the true legacy of the human race itself. So it's good to know that not all these guys are getting arrested on corruption charges. I was really starting to get worried there. So if you were a big bad billionaire in Algeria, what kind of houses would you just have to look at? Like everywhere else in the world, rising architectural geniuses are designing massively expensive, ultra-modern homes with that boxy white-on-white color scheme. The Apple Store house revolution looks to be global. What's cool is that some of these designers are looking at designing the neighborhoods instead of just the homes. That includes having the boxy shapes of two of these houses sitting next to each other look symmetrical. Then there's a shared pool out front. Beautiful estates like this go for tens of millions. I'm much more partial to the more classic architectural styles running through Algeria. There are plenty...
Let me know which side y'all like. Y'all like the classical side or y'all like the modern side? Let me know. I like that white on white though.
Of massively expensive estates across the country with the same look and color scheme. They feature a lot of soft pinks and peach colors with deep reds. They are the kinds of homes that even when they begin to fade, they almost look cooler than the ones that are brand new. It's hard to beat something that looks dramatic, like it's seen some things over the decades, even if you have to pay around $13 million for the pleasure of getting the keys.
Boom! JG Family Penny Blogs, Bowman's Baby. They're the, what it's like being a billionaire in Algeria. I don't know, it had its goods and then it had its bads. We don't go off the content. Y'all let me know. Y'all fill me in, cause y'all really over there. JG Family, I love y'all. Coming from the heart. Let's go!
Yeah, when I was young, they told me go out and get it. No shortcuts up on this corner, stack your 20s and 50s. No pillow talking to these hoes, cause they gon' tell all your business. Ay, don't want the squeeze in your business. Ay, when I was young, they told me go out and get it. Ain't no shortcuts up on this corner, stack your 20s and 50s. No pillow talking to